With the direction that Six Flags is going, we have to start assuming that selling off parks is a real possibility. So I'm going to speculate where each Six Flags park could end up and explain why I think it makes sense for that operator and for that specific park. But this would not be a theme park predictions video without at least one prediction. So stay tuned, because later in the video I'll be sharing a very bold prediction that you will not want to miss. Now, in case you're not aware of the major theme park operators that could be at play, I wanted to take this time to run down the list of the most likely candidates in my opinion. Starting off with Palace Entertainment, which owns parks like Adventureland, Kennywood, Lake Compounds, and a ton of different water parks. Premier Parks, while they do have a very roller coaster-like history with Six Flags, this company could be looking to add to their portfolio very soon. The most notable Premier Parks would be Magic Springs, Wild Waves, and Busch Gardens. Merlin Entertainment. This may be a wild card, but Merlin, who operates some of the biggest name parks in Europe like Alton Towers, Gardaland, and Thorpe Park, could be interested since they already own 3 Legoland theme parks here in the States. Persian Entertainment. With owning Dollywood, Silver Dollar City, Wild Adventures, and managing Kentucky Kingdom, Persian has a very fine approach when it comes to how they operate parks. They are family and experience focused and could do some great things to some of the current Six Flags parks. Cedar Fair. Now, you most likely know about all the parks that are owned by Cedar Fair, and I'd imagine that they would at least entertain the idea of acquiring some new parks, especially with how well ran their parks are. And lastly, the SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment. Would the company really want to expand their Busch Gardens brand? Now that you know about the most likely operators, let's speculate about each individual Six Flags park. Starting off with Discovery Kingdom. This Northern California park features 10 roller coasters and a ton of animal exhibits and show venues that, in my opinion, would fit perfectly within a Palace Entertainment parks, and here is why. Palace Entertainment is a part of an even larger theme park operator, Parques Reunidos. And yes, I'm well aware I probably just butchered that name, but at least I tried. But this park operator, as you can see here, offers a very wide range of parks, including other animal-focused properties. And now, while you might think that SeaWorld would be interested, here's something to think about. SeaWorld is clearly moving away from animals and are more focused on roller coasters and rides for the future of their parks. So why purchase a park to be stuck in the same situation that you're in with 4 of their other parks? Exactly. Now, with this list, it's very important to note that this is just me speculating, not predicting. They're 2 different things. And with that said, let's speculate about the future of Six Flags Over Georgia. The second ever Six Flags park is honestly one of my favorites in the entire chain. Over Georgia is located just outside of the fast-growing Atlanta, and in my opinion, there is no reason why this park is not attracting over 3 million visitors a year. So I think Persian Entertainment could come in and really clean this park up and shift its focus into a year-round destination, mainly because of the climate, plus the park offers plenty of land for future expansion. I just think this would be the best outcome for Over Georgia. Another juicy thing about the Persian Entertainment speculation is located 30 miles away from Over Georgia is Persian Entertainment's corporate office. So I am sure they're keeping an eye on Over Georgia. Not to mention, but Persian severed the ties with Stone Mountain Park, so they do not own or operate any major park in the Atlanta area. Six Flags St. Louis. Another park that I feel as if deserves more love, but a few problems come to mind when I'm thinking about the St. Louis property. Number 1, the location. The park is located 31 miles west of downtown St. Louis, which is pretty far for a park to be located away from a major city. Number 2, the city of St. Louis. And I personally love this city, but we cannot deny that it's sadly quickly declining. So those honestly are a major issue for future growth for the St. Louis property. However, there is hope. What if Premier Parks would purchase Six Flags St. Louis? This would be a great move due to the company already owning one of the best museums here in America, the City Museum. So in my opinion, this would be a very nice add-on package that could drive additional sales for both properties in the St. Louis area for Premier Parks. Six Flags over Texas. While I could see Cedar Fair or SeaWorld wanting over Texas, I just think Cedar Fair would make the most sense here. Over Texas offers everything Cedar Fair needs for a successful major park. You have the coasters, the rides, a great layout, location, and future growth. Plus, Over Texas is located right smack dab in the center of Dallas and Fort Worth, and in fact, over 8 million people live within an hour drive from the park. Six Flags Mexico. This beautiful park is definitely a money maker for Six Flags and is located just outside of Mexico City. That means that there are over 22 million people living within an hour drive from the park. But would a theme park operator that focuses on American parks want to look at acquiring a park that is in a different country? This is why I think Palace Entertainment makes the most sense here. I feel as if Six Flags Mexico would fall perfectly within their diverse portfolio of parks. Six Flags Great Adventure, and I have 3 words for this park: location, location, location. Being located right in the middle of Philly, New York City, and the Jersey Shore, I feel like Great Adventure could easily be transitioned into Busch Gardens, New Jersey. I just feel like this would make the most sense for the park and the operator. And as far as the Wild Safari goes, since this is not a show or a walk-through attraction, that it could possibly work and SeaWorld might want to keep it around. Just think, all of that land for hotels, future growth, and you already have a great water park located right across from Great Adventure. I don't know about you, but I just think that Busch Gardens, New Jersey really needs to happen. Traveling up to Canada for La Ronde. Will this park that first opened way back in 1967 ever get some true consistent love? While I wish the park would get new rides and coasters frequently, there has to be other issues as to why Six Flags has never branded this park and, really quite frankly, made it into something special. This is why I think Premier Parks could be a nice fit here. Not to mention, but the company's already home to some other smaller attractions in the Canadian market. Six Flags Darien Lake. While owned by EPR Properties and managed by Six Flags, I'm wondering if Darien Lake could become operated and owned by EPR Properties. It's just a thought, but an interesting thing that I found out is that EPR is an investment firm that, you guessed it, invests in the theme parks. But they also invest in Magic Springs and Wild Waves, the same parks that are managed by Premier Parks. So maybe Darien Lake would fall back under the Premier Parks after all. It's confusing, I know, but Darien Lake offers a great park with ample room to grow, a concert venue, a water park, not to mention the resort and campground. So why doesn't any park operator want to invest in Darien Lake? Who knows? I find it to be very odd. The Great Escape. Looking over the demographic that this upstate New York park has, I think that the business model would fall perfectly in line with what Palace Entertainment does very well with Storyland, which is located in New Hampshire. Both parks are centered around families, and the Great Escape even offers a water park and the indoor one that's located at the Great Escape Lodge. So I see lots of opportunity here for Palace Entertainment. Frontier City, another park owned by EPR Properties. So much like Darien Lake, it's going to be very interesting to see who would own Frontier City in the future if in fact it is no longer a Six Flags park. But in a perfect situation, I think that this park has Herschend written all over it. Frontier City is a great little park in a growing OKC market that fits in well with the other Herschend properties. Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Now, I recently did a video about how it would be so cool to see Fiesta Texas become Busch Gardens, Texas, so be sure to check that video out so you don't miss it. But I've said it for years now that Cedar Fair has to be scoping out this park and the current Six Flags situation. Fiesta has a Cedar Fair infrastructure with the Six Flags name on it, so this would be a very easy transition for Cedar Fair, and Fiesta is one of the most profitable Six Flags parks. Not to mention, but it is known that Cedar Fair definitely wants parks that are located in warmer climates. Next up is everyone's favorite park, and that would be Six Flags America, a park where new roller coasters are an afterthought. Also, a park that is within 2 hours of over 20 million people. Six Flags America offers plenty of room to expand with a great selection of coasters and rides. So I can really see any company coming in for America, but for some reason I feel like Merlin Entertainment could work best. I just think they could really expand and theme this park to really make it a very different experience than what we're seeing now. Six Flags Great America. You have 15 roller coasters all located at a park that offers a great layout, a beautiful water park, and located in a very nice area. And being located around 45 minutes north of Chicago is never a bad thing. With that said, I think that Cedar Fair would highly consider going after Great America if it did in fact go up for sale. I just feel like this park, much like Fiesta, would be a much easier transition to Cedar Fair from a Six Flags park than some of the other ones on this list. Plus, almost 4 million people visit Great America each year. So this is a very lucrative park for any theme park operator. And again, with this video, these are just my thoughts and mainly just me speculating. So this is not me saying that I predict that all Six Flags parks are going to be sold off or anything like that. Six Flags New England. Ever since I worked at the park back in 2006 and 7, I always thought that Cedar Fair would have done some great things for this park. And the first thing would probably be drop the New England name in favor of just Riverside. Go back to the original name and I absolutely love it. And just like America, I feel like any operator could be a positive for Six Flags New England. But what about Premier Parks? They currently do not offer any properties in the New England area and would be a very lucrative market for them. And now finally, Six Flags Magic Mountain. Roller coasters are the main focus of Magic Mountain. Obviously, and roller coasters are the main focus with the SeaWorld parks and Busch Garden parks. Obviously, and with SeaWorld San Diego being so limited on what they can build, roller coaster wise, could we see Busch Gardens California eventually happen? This would mean that Magic Mountain would be transformed into one of the best overall theme parks here in America. Not to mention offer one of the best coaster collections in the entire world. A very bold move by SeaWorld, but I think it's a very smart move for the company. Now obviously one man can hope and dream about this situation, I know, but I just feel like SeaWorld could be at play with Magic Mountain if it's no longer a Six Flags park in the future. I just feel like the park is too large for Premier or Palace Entertainment, and with Cedar Fair owning Knott's, I don't see that happening. So maybe Merlin? I mean, it's doubtful, but who knows? But that's the fun part about speculation videos, because you never know. Now about my bold prediction that I mentioned earlier in the video, and that is, we all know that Six Flags is really struggling and the future does look bleak in a lot of ways. With that said, I predict by 2024 we will see a few current Six Flags parks be sold off to other operators. Sadly, I just don't see how it can go any other way. And to recap how each park would fare under my every Six Flags park getting sold plan, here's a list of each park with its new operator. Now I want to know, what do you think about my ideas? And just for fun, where do you see each park ending up at? Be sure to let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.